The latest economic and political developments are making waves across the globe. From inflation concerns in the U.S. to controversial policy changes, global trade wars, and unexpected election results, we have a lot to cover. Stay tuned for a full breakdown of today's biggest stories. The Bureau of Labor Statistics has released its latest Consumer Price Index report, revealing that inflation rose by 0.2% in February, bringing the annual rate to 2.8%. Core inflation, which excludes food and energy, also increased by 0.2% for the month and 3.1% over the past year, its lowest level since April 2021. The White House is touting the report as a sign of economic stability, with Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt stating that the economy is moving in the right direction under President Trump. However, economists caution that newly imposed tariffs on steel, aluminum, and Chinese imports could drive prices higher in the coming months. Utah is set to become the first U.S. state to ban fluoride in public drinking water. Governor Spencer Cox has announced plans to sign legislation prohibiting local governments from adding fluoride, despite opposition from major health organizations. The American Dental Association warns that without fluoridation, cavities in children could rise within months or years. Supporters of the ban argue that fluoridation should be a personal choice rather than a government mandate. Public health advocates are particularly concerned about the impact on low-income families who rely on fluoridated water for dental care. Southwest Airlines is ending its long-standing free checked baggage policy. Starting May 28th, most passengers will be required to pay for checked bags, with exceptions for upper-tier loyalty members, business select travelers, and those with a Southwest credit card. CEO Bob Jordan states that the decision is necessary for profitability, as the airline faces financial strain and workforce reductions. While Southwest anticipates earning an additional $1.5 billion annually from baggage fees, some analysts warn that the policy could drive customers away. Greenland's center-right opposition party, Democratic, has won 30% of the vote, unseating the ruling coalition. The party, which supports gradual independence from Denmark, framed its victory as a rejection of U.S. President Donald Trump's influence. Trump has actively promoted Greenland's separation from Denmark, offering financial incentives and arguing that the island should determine its own future. While the nationalist Naleraq party also gained support, many Greenlanders remain wary of U.S. involvement, emphasizing their desire for sovereignty rather than shifting from one colonial power to another. Tensions are rising between China and Walmart after reports surfaced that the retail giant pressured Chinese suppliers to lower prices in response to increased U.S. tariffs. Chinese officials have summoned Walmart executives, warning that such demands could disrupt supply chains and harm both American and Chinese businesses. Walmart has yet to comment on the issue, but experts warn that escalating trade disputes could have widespread economic consequences. Senate Democrats are considering blocking a Republican-backed funding bill, raising the risk of a partial government shutdown by March 15th. Democratic leader Chuck Schumer has expressed concerns over the bill, while Republicans argue that Democrats will be responsible if the government shuts down. Some Senate Democrats remain divided, with at least one member signaling a possible break from party lines. Meanwhile, Republican Senator Rand Paul has voiced opposition due to continued high spending levels. The Environmental Protection Agency has announced a rollback of 31 environmental regulations, including pollution controls for power plants and electric vehicles. Administrator Lee Zeldin argues that these changes will eliminate trillions of dollars in regulatory costs and benefit American families and manufacturers. Critics, however, warn that the rollbacks could have severe environmental and public health consequences. In addition, the EPA is eliminating its diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, a move that opponents say will further erode trust in government agencies. Canada has announced $20.7 billion in retaliatory tariffs against the U.S. following President Trump's decision to impose 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. The European Union is also responding with $28 billion in countermeasures, targeting U.S. industrial and agricultural goods. President Trump argues that the tariffs will strengthen the U.S. economy, though business leaders warn that escalating trade wars could hurt global markets. The American Chamber of Commerce has called for negotiations, warning that prolonged trade conflicts could cost jobs on both sides of the Atlantic. Doctors from Harvard Medical School have filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration, alleging that LGBTQ-related medical research was deliberately removed from government websites. The lawsuit, backed by the American Civil Liberties Union, claims that the deletions violate First Amendment rights and undermine scientific integrity. Medical professionals warn that suppressing such information could negatively impact healthcare outcomes for marginalized communities. Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon has weighed in on the ongoing tariff debate, stating that the business community understands President Trump's motives. Solomon acknowledges that tariffs are intended to level the playing field, but warns that uncertainty in economic policy could hinder long-term planning. Despite market volatility, he remains optimistic about future investment opportunities, particularly in the IPO market. That's all for tonight's news update. Thank you for joining us. We'll continue to monitor these stories and bring you the latest developments. Stay safe, stay informed, and have a good night. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update.